Much for your purchase of my interactive lesson planner. I'm just going to go through the basics, and then if you have any questions, you can always reach out and email me. So my first page here is settings. You won't be doing much on here other than potentially changing any of the things that I already have here. You can change and it will apply to the rest of the sheet. For subjects, you're welcome to add as many as you want and color code them. I will show you the easiest way to do color coding. Let's say we want to add biology. The best way that I found to do it is I go into my fill color, and then I would choose the color that I want. So let's say we want to do a nice light, well, no, we already have that. Let's go a light red. Then it will fill this box. I will then go back into my paint can, click custom, and then I'm just going to copy this hex code and paste it here. Now, if you have a hex code from something else that you want to use, you're welcome to throw it in here. And then what will happen is we'll then go into daily plans. Is in daily plans, when we choose a drop down and we go biology, it will now have the biology in the drop down and it will change to the color that we've chosen. I then also will add the date. Obviously, we aren't going to be teaching in August, although unless you are. And so in my district, we don't start until September, but I know that other people do. So I will then put in my date and the subject. Now, the science one I've sort of started to fill out. So we have our subject, your lesson title, objective. Here you can edit and do whatever you want in there, materials. Lesson outline. Now, this is probably where you're going to put the majority of your information. So you will see these boxes start to get bigger down the column, which is totally fine. If you don't ever want to keep lessons, you can always delete them or copy paste them into another area if you want to keep this sheet clean. Assessment has given you an opportunity to fill in whatever you like. Homework, I've put none. This is where your lesson types will populate from this settings tab. And then your bloom level. If you don't want to use a bloom level again, or any of this stuff, you can just delete the whole column. Materials ready, yes or no. Assessment complete, yes or no. And then your status. So is it planned? Are you in progress of planning it, or it's complete and ready to roll out? Okay, so that is the nuts and bolts of Daily Planner. It's not that complicated, and it's really nice to just have it all in one spot. Once we have filled in our daily planner, you will see it pop up here in your weekly plan. Now, this is bare bones. It's not color coded because it gets really complicated when you're switching this week of tab, and I didn't want things to get messed up on your end. So you can always go in here and color it automatically yourself. So I think science is this color, and so you can go in and change that color. This will populate from your daily plans, and all it will bring up is your what kind of lesson it is and then what the lesson title is. You'll see we have math here on the Tuesday. Nothing else is filled in because I haven't filled anything else. In order to change the week, don't delete these and start over. You're just going to go up here. You're going to double click, and then I will choose the week of August 18th. You'll see that we have our biology that we just put in, and it will populate the lessons that you have for that week. So it's really just a place to look quickly as to where you are. Also, just as an aside, these instructions that I've given you here, you can always delete them and unmerge those cells if you don't want those there. Or you can always just choose these and hide the cell. Okay, unit plans, similar situation to our daily plans. These don't link anywhere, so it's really just a place for you to sort of lie out your units and then go into your daily plans. The same thing happens here when we choose our drop-down menu. This will copy over from settings, so you don't ever have to add them anywhere other than in the settings column, and then give them that hex code number. You have your start and end dates here. I have linked the actual curriculum. You can do that, or you can just put in what the standards are, or perhaps you link it to a different spot within a document within your link, your Google Drive. And then again, you have a spot for assessments, objectives, and notes. Again, you can change these however you want. All right, then we get into our year at a glance. This will give you the entire school year the entire year from September or August until July. And you will notice where we have some of these boxes that have these little triangles in the corner. So I have Meet the Teacher, we have school photos, October 31st, we have Halloween. And those events will populate from the events tab. So we'll go over there in a moment, but you will see your weekends are grayed out, and there will always be a yellow tab on today's date. So that will follow with you. So in the events, this is where we're going to put in the events to reflect on our year at a glance. You are able to type right into your year at a glance if you wish to. You just want to make sure that you're making the boxes bigger and that you're not getting rid of the the date, not just the 4. So if you want to add an event, you're just going to go 031, and then we'll say first day. And then what you're going to do, if I could spell, that would be helpful first, is in the icon. If you want an icon to show up in the drop-down menu, you're just going to go insert an emoji. If you're on an iPhone or an iPad, obviously that's much easier. You just go to your emoji keyboard. And then what do I want to use for the first day? Let's go celebrate. Because we're excited. So we can put that one there. Okay, so then once you have that in there, you just go back to year at a glance and your event will be here. Now, in the case that it has not shown up on your calendar, that can happen. It's not a big deal. You don't need to refresh. In fact, don't refresh the whole page. You're going to go up to calendar and just click refresh calendar, and it will run the script that is embedded into the sheet in order to run the events calendar, and so you just need to force that to run through. It sometimes stalls up, but that's an easy fix. And then our last tab, we just have some instructions, just some brief stuff that is maybe not necessarily added onto the sheets itself. All right, awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoy, and this makes your life a little bit easier. Happy planning.